Well, I'm not from your city, but I also don't think I need permission to roll up and do a Black Lives Matter rally there as well. How do you like that? Don't need permission, not asking actually. I want to talk about this idea of folks demanding permission for people to have marches in their community. And this is a theme I've seen over the past 2 months. Some folks requested help, just assistance in making a march in their community. All right, cool. We'll provide sound, chants, help out, organize, make sure it's safe. And then immediately what happens afterwards is you get blowback from the community. It's like, who did you ask? Who was you talking to? Why is you here? Why didn't you call me? And it's like, I never knew that I needed to call everybody in the town to ask permission about a Black Lives Matter march. Some of the folks of color just said, hey, we want to throw this march. And I said, cool, I'll help out. Think of living in a world where somebody says, hey, can you help me in my city to do a Black Lives Matter march? And then you say, sorry, I can't, I'm not from there. What the hell is that? That doesn't make any damn sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, melanin is everywhere. White supremacy is everywhere, unfortunately. So might as well go everywhere and speak to it. And it's not needed, no permission is needed to do that. You can pull up and say, why not? Why would you need permission to do that? And you have community members from that community asking for the help. So why is it that the first initial thing is, and these people are out of towners, see? And it's like, who cares if they're out of town? These are folks of color coming, rolling up saying, demanding justice, demanding police accountability, demanding that police brutality be ended. Could you not agree with that? Maybe you could join the march. Maybe you could leave the bar, put that cigarette down, join the march. You could do that. Here's the most poetic injustice. We were marching in Albertville a few days ago. There was a white guy standing outside of a bar, and we did the chant, Black lives, they matter here. And the white guy says, what about white lives? And in my mind, I'm like, man, you got a Vikings jersey on with a black man's name on the back. We're just saying Black Lives Matter. We didn't say anything about white lives. We just said Black Lives Matter. Not Black Lives only matter. We just say Black Lives Matter. And then you start yelling at us. And the irony couldn't be more like upside down, because it's like, you got a black man's jersey on, you're cheering for him on the screen, and then you have, who's probably a millionaire, and then you got black people in the streets who are not millionaires, and you're cursing at them. It's just like, what's that saying? We love, y'all love the art, but not the people who make it. It's odd, and then the next sentiment that we heard from Albertville was, there's a bunch of out-of-towners that came here and did that. And it's like, yeah, well, so what? If you look at the history of the country, it's based on out-of-towners, showing up and doing not so great things. This is an actual function where out-of-towners are coming in and demanding that great things happen in your community. Your community could be better than it is. That's all that people are saying. And for you to say that your community is doing A-okay, when you have people in that community reaching out for help to bring a message of solidarity and racial justice and social justice in your community, you should be helping those people instead of the first thing being, well, you're outside of this community. I'm not asking for permission, and if you want to have a filmed forum about it, we can do it. That's the whole point. And even when we did a march in a suburb, I'm just not going to name suburb. I'll name Albertville because it just happened. But there was a suburb that we did a march in, and somebody was like, you need to consult us. I don't need to consult you. You can talk to the folks that called me. And they tried to harass them. The worst thing there is no worst thing. The march is going to pass. Whatever representative seat that you're running for, you'll probably get it, and then you can, do whatever it is that you want to do to strike people's First Amendment rights or from your suburb. But the whole point being is that people don't need permission to show up to your city upon the assistance of those residents there and demand justice. Like, this happened in Stillwater as well. And nobody needs to ask. Like, that place is already racist. Your town is already racist. So take that and like just absorb that for a second. Folks are showing up to demand that the racism be checked. Now absorb that for a second. Why is it your gut instinct to say, well, you're not from this town? That's what that's telling me is, I'd like to preserve the racism in my suburb. No, thank you. No, we're not here for that, and we're going to demand better, and we're going to demand that your community do better, and your community members are demanding that you do better as well. So that's the power of having a march and then having a forum afterwards, and I think that it's worked out pretty well going forward. So what are your thoughts on that? And I know a lot of people are going to say, like, you ain't from this town, you ain't coming to this town. I get it, but you have members from that community saying, hey, we need some help. Can you help? Yeah, of course, I'll help, I'll show up. I don't even need to say anything. Just leave the chance and keep it moving, because it gets awkward when there's no chance and you're just marching and there's like a silent truck. But what are your thoughts on that? Do people need permission to march in somebody else's town? Even if there's people in that town saying help us? Give me your thoughts on that. I'm curious what you think. And I'm just opening up the gates for that one. I know it's going to happen on this one. But yeah, love to hear from y'all. Thank you for watching the video. We'll see you in the next one.